The resolutions that we will adopt today will also have important implications for the direction of the national democratic revolution. They will need to accelerate the pace as well as the direction, and also deepen the impact of the fundamental social and economic transformation that our people are looking forward to.
The governing party Secretary General Fikile Mbalula says the president will in the next week announce whether there will be any major changes to his cabinet. Mbalula also says the future of Deputy President David Mabuza will be made clear. The ANC Secretary General was answering questions from the media at the party's 55th National Conference.
President also is looking at the issue of replacement in cabinet. So in the next week, after this conference on January 8, we are hard at work in terms of the new restructuring. We are hard at work in terms of government structure, cabinet, how is it going to look like, and so on. The president will have applied his mind on some of these issues. We'll be hard at work in terms of preparing for the government Lekgotla and the ANC Lekgotla, and constituting new committees and deployment. So it's a lot of things, and adopting a new program of action. So that's what we'll be doing. Of course, it is not up to me to say what will happen. I will only cross that bridge when we get there, and I will announce it to you in terms of exactly the question you are asking, what will actually happen. And at the present moment, there is no crisis. The status quo still remains. And when anything happens in that regard, we'll give you an update.
So, just as a follow-up, at this point in time, we are stuck with this conundrum of not being sure what to do.
No, we are very sure what to do. What I'm saying to you is that we have not as yet got to the position of discussing such. In the next coming weeks, we'll be reflecting on those issues. And we will give you a proper answer, because the conference have said, and then it has got a new deputy president, the other one is in government, and the other one is this side. Whether or not we want to combine or we allow it to go like that, we will give you an answer on that.
All right, let's get more on this. Joining us live from the venue, we have our senior politics reporter, Samkele Maseko. A very good afternoon to you, Sammy. I mean, a lot of issues being spoken about today, but I think in particular what you wanted to talk about at this time was the issue of the processes going forward on the Commission's reports. Give us the latest as well as what's happening in that regard.
Well, Flo, we have seen the ANC's NEC member David Makhura giving a report back to plenary on the strategy and tactics. Then you had Fasiya Hassan giving a report back on the organizational renewal of the African National Congress. We're not yet sure what other subsequent commissions reported back to plenary, but I'm going to bring in Mr. Pule Mabe, the ANC spokesperson, to further elaborate on these issues. Mr. Mabe, we've seen report backs from strategy and tactics by David Makhura, organizational renewal by Fasiya Hassan. How far is your program? When can we start expecting rolling report backs on the various resolutions you've taken from the various commissions?
Well, thank you, Samkele. What happened this morning, because this now marks the continuation of that Agenda 55th National Conference. We had a good start, I must say. The Secretary General has already briefed members of the media on the program itself. What had happened this morning is that we had Comrade Makhura, we had the President first officially opening the start of the kickstarting of this continuation of the 55th National Conference. Comrade Makhura presented the strategy and tactics. Fasiya presented the our renewal document. Comrade Phoebe Potgieter presented our finance and sustainability document. We dealt with about 7 of those commission's reports. Now they were on lunch. When delegates go back, they will deliberate on those. And after deliberating, they will then firm them up with resolutions. After those resolutions are taken, we'll start bringing the presenters. We'll start with Comrade, I will talk about the first 3. We'll start with Comrade Makhura, Comrade Phoebe and Comrade Fasia, who will then come and present the resolutions of the specific commissions that they were tasked to report on behalf of to the plenary. And then what they will be now bringing to the media will be the resolutions of those. We are moving quite fast, and we must thank our delegates in all the 9 hubs where we have set up. Here in Mangaung is the location, is the home of the national hub. Everything has been going quite smooth. We have been able to deal with the initial glitches, including making sure that we are able to reserve the media only for the open sessions of conference. We have discussed that we will be taking media inside plenary later on to do cutaways and be able to have the feel of the national hub. We must thank members of the media who have also gone in to attend all other conferences that are taking place in the different hubs throughout the country.
Mr. Mabe, when you look at the Economic Transformation Subcommittee as Economic Transformation Commission, South Africans are looking at some of the policy proposals that will come from there. The issue of the basic income grant, which you've largely been discussing, as you've seen with the rolling out of the 350 rands to those whom are being cushioned from poverty within the country. There's also the issue of land expropriation without compensation, the issue of the nationalization of the Reserve Bank. What are some of the key policy proposals that South Africans and the business fraternity and foreign investors can look forward to when it comes to the Economic Transformation Commission report?
Well, I don't want to go into the details. Safe to say that Mamoloko Kubai will also be talking to yourselves just about that, including our own resolution on the energy mix. Because energy is such a critical issue. We need to assure South Africans that we are committed to energy security. We have got to do so, and we must be intentional and deliberate in our own actions. We've got to say what are the things that we want to see happening, led by our own government in the next year that will be presiding over the administration. So we are quite serious on those things. Actually, to demonstrate our seriousness, we are even convening an economic dialogue which takes place tomorrow, which is going to be addressed by our Secretary General, Comrade Fikile Mbalula, together with Mamoloko Kubai, who chaired the Economic Transformation Subcommittee for the 54th National Conference Collective.
Mr. Mabe, when can we anticipate the closure of this conference by the ANC President and the conference declaration?
When we leave here, conference will be closed. We are expecting that we have set out, we have reserved today, the 5th and the 6th, the early hours of the 6th, to conclude. It is possible that we can conclude even before that, but we have planned ahead so that if there are delays and all of that, we can still be able to achieve our target.
Thank you very much. That is Mr. Pule Mabe, the ANC spokesperson, saying that after lunch at about 3:30, they are going back to plenary. They are going to finalize the 3 reports, which is the financial sustainability of the ANC, take resolutions on that, go on to the organizational renewal, which was presented by Fasia Hassan, take resolutions on that, and also look at the strategy and tactics, which has already been presented by David Makhura, take resolutions. And then once those 3 have been resolved upon, they will then start rolling out the various press briefings on those final resolutions that have been taken by conference. And ultimately, towards the latter part of the evening, you will be hearing from Mamoloko Kubai, who chairs the ANC's Economic Transformation Subcommittee and who was part of that commission, where they will be reporting back on the economic trajectory and resolutions that the governing party has decided to embark on.